has missed their window.
Oh, yeah, with this group, yeah. Yeah, I mean, Trent Williams probably has, they hope, one more excellent year left. He's already, pushing the boundaries of the modern tackle for how long you can be first-team All-Pro caliber guy. Christian McCaffrey, I think it's a bonus if you get another great year from him. Just because of what his career's been, great when he's healthy, but injury's been a problem, and it's that position. I don't know what Brandon Ayuk's future is. Rap Sheet had the report that they were thinking about trading him as well.
Yeah.
The owner has come, or John Lynch has come out and said, I think on behalf of the owner, hey, we have been top 3 in cash spending a bunch of years in a row now. Might be a bit of a time to reset. No, yeah, by the way, you're going to have to pay your quarterback, go from $1 million to whatever, 45, 55, 60, whatever that number is. It's a massive raise. So I do think they have a great coach. I think that the jury is still out on their quarterback, but other people think he's awesome.
Yeah.
So great coach, potentially very good quarterback. You are going to, the window will reopen. But I don't look at them as the favorites in their division anymore, Coach, not now that the Rams got Stafford locked down. And I think they have real questions on both sides of the ball.
Yes, yeah, I see it differently. I don't think the window's closing at all. And maybe they get rid of Ayuk, maybe they don't. But let's say they do. I thought Juwan Jennings played really well. I thought they drafted Pearsall in the first round because they believed in him, and then he came on later in the season. Obviously, what happened to him early in the season, you're not getting a real picture of who the complete player is. And then on offense, they've got one player that's a free agent, one starter, it's a guard. They have 4 on defense that are free agents that were listed as starters, but 2 of them barely played any last season. So they've got 2 guys they really need to address in the secondary. They've got a ton of draft picks. They've got a significant amount of money. And if they get those guys playing, if they're healthy, let's assume that they're healthy, which is what they weren't last year, why can't they be back in the mix? And let me just add one other point, is they got Robert Saleh back.
I do think that helps.
I don't think it's a Vic Fangio, the same effect as Vic, but this is a guy who had a great defense there and now has the benefit of head coaching experience. To me, that's extremely valuable to have that piece back in place.
So, Wilds, I don't know if you remember, it was might have been 2 off seasons ago, but the Niners, it might have been when they signed Hargrave. I'm not sure. They made a move. And you were like, I don't understand the salary cap.
Yeah, it wasn't Hargrave, it was somebody.
It was somebody, and you were like, I don't understand.
How do they keep signing them?
They sign everybody. And the answer is they did what the Eagles are currently doing, which is we think we have an opportunity to win at a super high level right now, so we're going to backload a lot of these deals, add void years to these deals, whatever it is. The Eagles have done that twice now. They did it, when they had in the Wentz era, got to a Super Bowl with Foles, built it, and then ripped it down, and then rebuilt it. And if anybody looks at the Eagles spot rack page, it's a nightmare about 3 years from now. But they don't care. They're trying to win championships. The Niners did that. And last year was their all-in year. They didn't want to pay Ayuk. It was a whole fight all year. They were like, fine, we don't want to miss this window. They didn't want to give Trent Williams more guaranteed years because he's 37 years old. Or I might be a year off in either direction. But they did because that was their all-in year because they knew that was the last year that was guaranteed to have Purdy so cheap. So I just think that it is I know that right now technically they have salary cap space, but they don't want to put themselves in a position where a year from now they're cutting a quarter of their roster because a lot of those deals just balloon in coming seasons. And so I just think that they are in a bit of a reset. And similar to what the Bills did this year. But they don't have a guy, I don't think, at quarterback who can be like, even in a reset, I'm worth 12 wins by myself. And so that's where I think they missed.
To me,
okay. Well, when you're a messy organization or a messy team, name me the quarterback that you're just worth 12 wins. Name a current quarterback right now where that happens, where you have just a mess of a team and you're rebuilding and you're just worth 12 wins. There's not a single name that you can give me. Not Josh Allen, not Lamar Jackson, not Patrick Mahomes, and there's no example. If you guys try to say Patrick Mahomes, my head's going to explode. Because when you have a dominant defense, just stop it. Stop it. So to just again to try to use that as a way to bring down, Brock Purdy or something is just silly. And especially maybe if you can take advantage of a terrible division where you can be pretty much, guarantee yourself 5-6 wins just out of your division, then maybe I can see that, but like I'm not even gonna see, we're doing sleight of hand over here. But so let's focus on actually the conversation. Listen, this whole idea, did they miss their window? It depends on how we're defining the window and when was the window officially open, because they went to the Super Bowl obviously in 2019 and 2022, both two completely different quarterbacks. Was that the window? Because it was like Kittle, what was this window? Is it the Shanahan window? Is it now a new window with Purdy? Like, what do we actually mean by that? I think bringing in Robert Saleh will be huge, and I do think it'll be not exactly a Fangio effect, because Fangio really is truly special defensive mind, and he's been around for so long. Saleh is still relatively young, and again, I think is a great defensive mind, and I already made a video talking about how I think it's going to be huge, and compared it to the Eagles and Fangio of having Robert Saleh. With regard to that. But the other luxury that the Eagles have is that Fangio is not going to be a head coach ever again in the NFL. He doesn't want to. He's going to retire, before any of that. I do believe Saleh will want to leave. Again, I think if Robert Saleh really turns around this defense in the next couple of years, he probably will be gone because he wants redemption. He wants to be a head coach, and it'll pretty much solidify, bro, I'm a good defensive coach. I'm a great coach and a head coach. I was in New York. Everyone fails in New York, and I had Aaron Rodgers, and and this, that. Don't put that on me. And he'll probably get another opportunity, and he'll want the other opportunity, and totally understandably so. That's the other benefit of him just being kind of younger in that regard. He still has more to kind of go from. So just from like an extra long-term perspective, that kind of slightly inhibits the 49ers, but in terms of the short-term perspective, with at least these next couple of years, I don't see that happening. And I do think that, Brock Purdy will very much prove to be the type of quarterback that when you give him a great defense and really make the foundation of what he needs to do game management, he will absolutely thrive in that situation and can really excel. I really, really do. Yeah, if you're constantly trying to put the game in Brock Purdy's hands, yeah, I don't think that's the way you maximize this 49ers team. And yeah, you can do that when you have great offensive weapons, and I think Brock Purdy is good enough to then overcome the limitations of a defense. I really do. But I think that's not where he can shine. That's not where he will shine. You give him a great defense at the foundation, I think Brock Purdy will be in such a better situation to really win some games. Now you give him actually some legitimate weapons, and he will be in a great situation to maximize and really heighten those weapons as well. And yeah, there is the issues. You're moving on from Debo, which I think is 100% the right move. But Christian McCaffrey, yeah, Christian McCaffrey is obviously consistently banged up and is dealing with a lot of stuff. And it's unsettling. I don't know how anyone can feel comfortable or confident that Christian McCaffrey is going to come back next season and be great. I'm all for defending these players and wanting them to overcome, but it's just like, I really don't know. That's why I'm not going to say I don't think Christian McCaffrey is going to be anything next season. I'm not going to put that on that guy because I don't think anyone could. I don't think anyone really has an idea. But if you come here with a high degree of confidence that someone like Christian McCaffrey is going to come out and be great next season, that's not really based off of any type of reality. That's definitely based more off of hope. So that is a question mark. But I do think Shanahan and this team has to be smart enough to understand, you know what, when Christian McCaffrey is here, we're going to maximize and do everything we can, but we definitely are not building a team with Christian McCaffrey, with the idea that Christian McCaffrey is the foundation, a foundational component. He's going to be more of the whipped cream on the sundae rather than the sundae itself. And I think that's totally fair. And so I'm now it's up to Shanahan and Brock Purdy for that matter, and management for the 49ers to figure out what does that mean. because they were in the process of trying to figure out and trying to be like, last year it was kind of just like, oh, no, we just got to triage until McCaffrey comes back, until, so-and-so comes back. We just kind of have to kind of hold things together until we get the pieces back. But now it's facing the reality of like, you know what? Things are going to have to evolve. Things are going to have to change. What does this look like? And they're already doing that. They're already doing that. They're not doubling down on the issues that they had last season. In fact, they're doubling down on changing the issues, like moving on from players, like getting a new coordinator. So I think they're making the right decisions. And so, but if you want to say like, is this window closed, and you just want to name like a couple specific players in mind as like they are the defining characteristic of this window, that's like saying, did the Eagles windows close with Jason Kelsey and Cox or like a Brandon Graham, because Brandon Graham might have not come back this season. Obviously he did, and then they won the Super Bowl. But like, so does that mean that the super window closed? Like, no. Is it the AJ Brown window, the Jalen Hurts window, the Sirianni window? Like, what's the window here? Like what is it actually? Who defines the Kansas City Chiefs window? We obviously know Mahomes and Andy Reid and Spags, but like what else is that window? Is it when has the window closed for Travis Kelce to win the Super Bowl with the Chiefs? So like the window makes a little bit less sense when you have young coaching, young quarterback, a handful of other younger players. If this was like a significantly older team, Brock Purdy's like 36, 37 or something, like everyone just getting older. Shanahan's really like, coming at the edge of his career, or just potentially like legitimately on the hot seat where he could get fired at any moment. And, you're a little bit concerned about, you're happy that the GM was able to build this team, but like, you don't have a high degree of confidence that they're going to be able to bring it, slash it all down and build it back up. So you're just like, the window really does feel unique to the cast of characters that you were able to build. I don't think that that's necessarily the 49ers story, just like it's clearly not the Chiefs story, just like it's not the Eagles story. Was that the story for, say, the Ravens when they won with oh my god, I cannot think of his name, Flacco? Was that the story when I'm trying to think of other random examples. I can't think of any good ones. Technically, if the Falcons ended up winning the Super Bowl, with Matt Ryan, right? Like, that was kind of more of their story. You had this very specific group of guys. They were able to kind of catch lightning in a pan for a moment or two, and they were able to, like, legitimately be contenders, and then it's done. And now they kind of have to rebuild, make other decisions, move on from this guy, move on from that guy, get this guy, and clearly not successful at it. That's not who the 49ers are. That's not who the Chiefs are. That's not who the Eagles are. That's not who the well-run franchises are. So that's why I don't look at it through a window. When Jalen Hurts gets older, AJ Brown, Devontae, when these players are really like on the cusp of really starting to, teeter downward, we can look at it through that window, and then you kind of now pull back and say, yeah, but I trust the franchise to make other decisions. But I just don't think looking at it through a specific window makes sense when you're a team like the 49ers, the Eagles, the Chiefs, etc. Especially when you have a quarterback like Brock Purdy, who's like, 24, 25, whatever his official age is now. And it's just like, if he was 34, 35, and they're like kind of being like, I don't know, they owe him $50 million next season, and this will probably be his last year, then they're probably going to draft a quarterback. Sure, talking about a window makes sense through that lens, but as of right now, when you're talking about a window, I feel like you're forcing a narrative. Oh, they missed their window. Did they miss an opportunity to win a Super Bowl over the last 4 or 5 years? Sure, I do. I think that's fair to say, but I don't see it as a window. Did they miss an opportunity to come away with the Super Bowl win? Yeah. In 22, they truly had an awesome chance to do that. Did they face a little bit of bad luck? Absolutely. Having Greenlaw get injured, etc. Absolutely. And then this season, when they could have had another chance, another opportunity to do that, then they were decimated with injuries. So it is kind of what it is. But such is life. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the 49ers? Did they miss their window? And how do you define the window, honestly? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.